Long ago, a king of man named Giufi sought the knowledge and wisdom of the Asgards.
Searching for the wisdom of the gods. Are any of you knowledgeable?
Ask us what you will, and I promise you shall leave here wiser than you arrived.
Tell me if you can, how did all things begin?
In the beginning, chaos and nothingness existed, except for an open void called Ginnungagap. In ancient times, neither heaven above nor earth below, neither sand nor grass, nor the cool, tossing waves of the sea had come into existence. There was complete and utter nothing.
The first world to come into existence was Muspelheim, which was a hot, bright, flaming world in the southern part of Ginnungagap, and it sent forth sparks and glowing embers. And it was guarded by a giant named Surt, who possessed a flaming sword.
The second world to come into being was Niflheim, in the northern part of Ginnungagap. In the middle of this world is a spring called Velgmir, from which 11 fast and fearsome rivers arose and flowed far from their source. The foamy venom that came from their waves hardened and turned into ice. As it cooled, a drizzling mist arose from the venom and fell upon the firm ice, forming a second layer of heavy ice over the first layer. And with these layers made Niflheim cold, foggy, and a harsh place to live.
The frost giants lived during the time of endless winters, before the earth was formed, where the soft warm air from Muspelheim met the ice from Niflheim, making life from the drops of melted foamy venom. From this Ymir arose. From the venom he became wild and fierce and evil. Another being came from thawed ice, Uluma, who was a cow who fed Ymir from the rivers of milk that came from her bosom.
While the frost giant slept, sweat came from his body. From his armpit sweat a man and a woman emerged, making Ymir the father of frost giants. As we know, apples do not fall far from the tree, and they were also evil.
That is certainly a strange tale. How then did the gods first come to exist?
Udhuma constantly licked the salty block of ice. By the time night had fallen, a godly head of hair had appeared. The next day a godly head was visible, and finally on the last day Buri had emerged from the salty ice. Buri, the grandfather of the gods, had a son called Bor, who married a nice giant named Vesla. Cute couple they were. Soon little gods were running around, and they named them Odin, Vili, and Ve. Odin, Vili, and Ve killed Ymir, resulting in a bloodbath that drowned all but 2 frost giants. The 2 frost giants that escaped made more frost giants, and as was cold, they were a lonely bunch, and this new race of giants was just as evil as Ymir. From Ymir's corpse we took bits and pieces and odds and ends and fashioned a lovely place you and your kind rule. His flesh made the ground, his blood the oceans, his bones the mountains and rocks, and his hair the forests.
As a consolation prize, they gave the giants the shoals around the salty seas. And to ensure that the people of Midgard, aka you, were protected, they took Ymir's eyebrows and placed a lovely little barrier.
How was the earth first fashioned?
From Ymir's skull the gods created the skies, with 4 dwarves holding up a corner of the sky, and from his brains the gods worked their magic and made storm clouds.
I did not know the dwarves existed before human beings. How did they come to be?
Originally the dwarfs had come to life as maggots in Ymir's rotting carcass. For fun, the gods gave them the appearance of people and also gave them human understanding, but made them shorter and hairier. Dwarves still live in dark places of the earth, as it reminds them of home.
Then they fashioned the stars to light the heavens out of embers and sparks from the land of Muspelheim.
They arranged for the sun and the moon to traverse the skies every day, and night in the moon's case, in order to create the seasons. The sun travels quickly because a cosmic wolf is chasing her. When the world comes to an end at the time of Ragnarok, aka the god's funeral, the cosmic wolf will chow down upon the sun. Another wolf runs in front of the sun, chasing the moon. Sadly, the moon will meet the same fate as the sun, and will die.
How did human beings come to inhabit Midgard?
The gods went for a lovely walk along the beach, enjoying pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, and they came across two trees. One was an ash and the other an elm. They created the first two people from the trees, calling the man Ask and the woman Umba. Because being nude is pretty undignified, they gave them clothing. Odin gave them blood and breath of life. Vili gave them the ability of understanding and the ability to walk. And V made sure they weren't dumb, deaf, and blind. Because they were a lonely bunch and their area wasn't exactly tropical, they made more and more humans. The branches of this great ash tree spread throughout the whole entire world and even extended over the heavens. There is a tree of roots that support it, and we gave them names. We called them, the first one's Aesir, that's the one in Asgard, the second one among the frost giants, and the third is Niflheim.
The root in Asgard is nourished by a sacred spring called Erd. There lived the three fate maidens, called Norns. Their names are Erd, Verdandi, and Skuld.
There are other Norns as well. Some are the daughters of the elves. Others are the daughters of the maggots. Those who come from good beings shape good lives, long, wealthy, and famous ones. Evil Norns confer short, like the dwarves, poor and unfortunate lives.
The root among the frost giants is nourished by the spring of Mimir, and is the source of the wisdom and understanding. Anyone who drinks from the water is said to become wise. In fact, Odin, the Allfather, drank from it once, and had to sacrifice an eye to do so.
And the root over Niflheim is nourished by the spring Verglamir, the source of the world's great rivers. Compared to the other two roots, no big deal really, nothing interesting about it.
What did the gods do after they created human beings?
Odin, Vili, and V built a stronghold for themselves in the middle of the world and called it Asgard. They invited their families to live there. Odin sits in the seat and then creeps upon the world, making sure it is all everyone's business. He has two ravens, Hugin and Munin, and they sit upon his shoulders. Each day they fly away and return to inform Odin of what they saw and heard.
This is the most interesting place in all of Asgard.
Well, Valhalla, of course. It's the roof that made from spear shaft and golden shields. Valkyries, the daughter of Odin, ride down to Midgard to award victory to certain warriors and to choose those destined to croak. They bring the dead to Valhalla and fight on the side of the gods against giants in Ragnarok.
Every day the dead warriors entertain themselves by fighting one another. Old habits do die hard.
There are 640 doors built into Valhalla. And when Ragnarok comes, 960 warriors will leave through the doors to fight the fearsome wolf, Fenris.
Travel between Asgard and Earth.
Has a bridge called the Bifrost Bridge, and it looks like a rainbow.
In your opinion, what gods should humans in my kingdom believe in?
There are 12 gods and 12 powerful goddesses. Odin is the oldest and greatest, known as all the fathers. He is the father of both gods and humans. He has names such as High One and Father and the Slain.
Thor is the son of Odin and his wife Frigg. Thor is by far the strongest of the gods. He drives a chariot drawn by two goats, because horses were not good enough for him. He owns three precious possessions: his hammer, Mjolnir, his mighty belt, which doubles his strength, and his iron gloves, which he wears when he wields his hammer.
Another son of Odin's is Balder. He is gorgeous and sparkles in the sun. His beauty is only matched by his wholesome goodness. He is the most wise and most kind of the gods, and whatever he says cannot be changed.